Hey there YouTube, what's up? So I'm making a video today actually about my 2.7 gallon Penn Plax Vertex tank. This is going to be a review video of this tank. Sadly I don't have any unboxing videos for this tank, and I can certainly say that the way that it's set up right now is not actually how it was set up, or supposed to be set up rather, the way that it came with all the stuff. When you actually get the tank in the box, it comes with a little cascade filter that's kind of a little bit like the Azu filter that you might see a lot of people reviewing that are very just small filters that are usually pretty good for betas. So this tank comes with one of those filters. I just currently have a sponge filter running in it. I don't have that tank or that filter running. In fact, I've never actually even used that filter, so I can't unfortunately say my feelings about that filter. Sorry about that. But we'll just kind of move on to the actual tank itself. So aesthetically, I really do like this tank. It is obviously 2.7 gallon tank, so it's a pretty decent size. I like how it has these curved edges. They're rounded on the sides, so they're not pointy. It is pointed in the back of the tank, but the front side of it is rounded. It is a rimless tank, so there's it's very just clear and open. That part's very nice as well. It also comes with, it's hard to see, but it comes with a little foam mat that it sits on top of, which I do have for this tank. I have heard that it's very important to keep those for rimless tanks, because any kind of imbalance or anything it helps with, so that they don't crack and you know, like their ceiling come apart and stuff, because they don't have that extra support of the rims. So as far as stocking and stuff for this tank, you really can't put very much in here. Right now all I have in here is a bunch of snails. At one point I did have shrimp in here, which unfortunately didn't live very long. I have only kept shrimp in small tanks, and I think that it's becoming to be a realization for me that either I just have very bad luck with shrimp, or it's very, very, very true that you should probably keep shrimp in a larger tank due to water parameter swings and everything happening. So if you are an expert at keeping shrimp or something like that, you know, fine, use this kind of tank. They have like the Fluval EB and stuff, which is kind of like a similar size that they advertise for shrimp and stuff. But honestly, I'm thinking that it's true that a bigger tank would be better for shrimp. So as far as other stocking for fish and stuff, you could probably put a beta in here. It's just pretty much at that limit right there at the 2.7 gallons, just being over 2.5 gallons, which is like the minimum recommended size for a beta, most everywhere. So of course you could get a bigger tank, but that's one good option for this tank. Unfortunately, with how small it is, there isn't a whole lot of other fish you can probably put in this tank, or is recommended to put in this tank. I'm sure you could put other fish in here, but it's just, it might not be recommended really. So it is a pretty good tank for being planted. This tank does not come with a light, so that's one unfortunate thing that you kind of have to get yourself and work around and everything. I will agree that the lid that comes with this tank, I'll show you what kind of setup I have with that. So the lid that comes with this tank, I'm parting it right now, it's very dirty. I should have probably cleaned that up, but never mind, pardon the mess. It's just a little dusty, that's all. A little dust never hurt anybody. So it's plastic, which is not very nice. It's hard to get light to penetrate through it. Some people have had problems with it killing their plants. What I personally have is this little light on the bottom of it that I got from Walmart for like 20 bucks. And I just stuck it up there with like some 3M tape, I think. Just on this side and then this side. And it's actually been growing the plants and staying in there and everything pretty well. It usually lights the tank really well too, except that I just have a lot of plants covering that coverage right now. But there's a lot of options for lighting this tank. So another thing that I don't really care for, and a lot of people don't like, is these plastic clips. I don't have a problem with it that much, but they do slide off the plastic sometimes and it's a bit annoying. So that's one thing. And then one thing that I really don't like, and that's one reason I have some saran wrap here to kind of help prevent it. But this is such a big gap back here that your fish can jump out, and it is a pain for evaporation happening in this tank. Like this tank is one of my tanks that evaporates the fastest because of that lid. So I'm not really crazy about that. I would like to get a different tank lid for this at some point. But other than that, I mean, the lid is kind of minuscule. Usually you can kind of go to a glass shop and get it cut. I haven't done that yet, so I don't know how expensive it would be or anything like that, but most of the time it's not usually that expensive. Just make sure that you don't go to some place like Lowe's to get a piece of glass cut unless you want pointy edges, because they won't cut it curved to fit this tank. So, that being said, it's a very nice little tank though. I like it. It is very cute. It's small. It's very appealing to the eye. It's a good tank. I really do like it. Unfortunately, I haven't had a whole lot of stocking in this tank. I'd like to actually see more shrimp and fish and maybe frogs or something in this tank. But I think it's a great little thing. I really like this tank. I don't have a whole lot of rimless tanks. You can probably see the corner of it, but I have my Picotope tank over there, which is a little bit dirty and not set up. We may set that up one of these days. But, yeah, this is one of the few rimless tanks. I guess this whole little stand over here, I hadn't even thought of it that way. But my whole little stand over here is just kind of like rimless tanks and bowl kind of area. But anyway, so that's my review on this tank. Overall, I would probably get it if it's a 4 stars out of 5. I did have problems with the shipping. I had to get 2 tanks because the first one that I got did bust on the side. They didn't package it all too great. So that's one downfall. The other thing that this tank does come with is some like a packet of maybe food and a little water conditioner, and it comes with a little tiny net too. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, that's my review of this tank. I like it, and if you are interested in this tank, I would definitely recommend it. But that's all I wanted to say on this tank. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.